I was convinced it was the one on the right. Hey there, and welcome back to a Shadow over Villca'S, where we're gonna be trying to do the Secret Night one more time. I went through editing and constantly trying to like analyze the difference between the that character, I forgot, Dollar, I think their name is, and I think I'm starting to see some more differences. One of them I didn't notice was the eyes. That's already a big difference that I need to try and keep an eye on, so that I don't make the same mistakes. I mean, literally, that's the main mechanic I have to worry about. Yeah, okay. The color scheme is probably gonna be the toughest thing for me, honestly. I'm hoping that I can beat it here. Because if I can't, then it's over. I don't know why I'm checking that. Where's the flame? Where's the flame? There we go. Damn it. Yeah, that part's still gonna get... Oh, I didn't... See, the thing is, I'm fixating so much on the colors, I didn't even look at the eyes. The eyes might have been wrong for all I know. Shoot. See, okay, I got distracted. So in that case, the eyes were both the same. Yeah, the right one looked a bit fuzzier. Now I'm actually starting to see a bit better with that. Oh my god, wait. Drag this over. Actually, now the glitchiness is starting to look a lot more obvious to me. Like, I'm actually starting to see, like, the actual pixels be kind of, like, distorted. If only that happened last video. But, at least now I'm starting to actually see it. See, that time I couldn't notice it. That time I didn't notice it. See, damn. In that scenario, I couldn't tell. I didn't even click. I mean, because I know the thing is, there's three main differences: the color tone, the eyes, and whether they look pixelated, just like a bit glitchy and pixelated. Ideally, I could just look at one side and know exactly what to do. Didn't they just show up? I didn't even... okay. Shoot. I was convinced it was the one on the right. I don't know, maybe I should try just sticking to one, because I get what the vibrance kind of looks like, but it's like, I don't know, I feel like I'm wasting too much time trying to like scan both sides, you know what I mean? Also, the fact that clicking on the side makes you go on the monitor is probably just one of the most annoying things about this night. Also, I take it back. I thought they would show up every, like, 20 seconds or something. They show up more like every 15. They are pretty active. I swear. Oh, I should have just stuck with that one. Nothing looked wrong about that one. Now with this clown standing there, it's gonna be annoying.
That part scared me. I was worried I was gonna accidentally click on it. Oh my god, I almost missed that. I really did hesitate for a moment there. I should be good now. Let's go, we actually did it. It was way better when I just focused on looking at one only the left one. Instead of trying to like focus on both of them at once, just look at the left one. If I don't see anything suspicious, then, you know. Anyway, let's just, I'll continue that afterwards. Yo, dude. Huh? You see those piles of junk over there? Yeah, what about them? We're gonna bring them to the new place. Perhaps we could use it and the others for these showtimes. The boss will never find out if we don't tell him. Are you sure this is a good idea? I mean, have you heard of what happened a few years ago with that night guard? Okay, so this is a few years later. Well, how would we know if it works or not if we haven't tried it out? Besides, the newspaper sometimes gets the information wrong, so I think it's worth a shot. That's one hell of a, you know, misprint for a newspaper if they mentioned our untimely fate. I'm not really sure about... Oh, wait, no. I'm not really sure about this, Boris. Gotta get the voice right. Come on, Mark. What's the worst that could happen? Oh, I wonder. But yeah, it was just... wait, what? Alright, before you get your... This is the developer. Alright, before you get your hypes up, I want to clarify some things. First of all, there won't be a second game or anything. This is because Rehaunted and Those Nights at Villca'S remake will be my last projects. I'm a grown 20-year-old man. I can't keep making games for the rest of my life. Plus, the fact that this game isn't one of my major priorities to make a sequel of, not counting the dev hell this game went through, you knew it wasn't a good idea to make this project a reality, taking into account the amount of other responsibilities you have, and still made it? What the hell even motivated you to the whole game instead of leaving it as an inside joke? It's kind of a funny story. It's kind of a funny story, actually. You see, I had been thinking of an alternate universe where Akira couldn't defeat... Don't ask me what. I don't know what I mean, I never even played the game by Villca'S, so if this is relating to that, then that's why I'm completely lost.
Akira couldn't defeat Fusion Creature and ended up inside Forgotten Maxi like Fate and Shadow Knights. Oh, so the reference to Shadow Knights there. Hold on, I'll show you the picture. I showed it to Shad. He really liked it. I made the cast, he gave the name of the project to some sort of silly joke, and it all eventually led to this. Seriously? All of this over some dumbass alternative universe image? I'd rather have nothing rewarding than a goofy set of images all together and call it a day. I swear, if you don't shut up, I'll give you more of a fair reason to do it. Fine, keep doing your thing. As I said, there won't be a sequel to A Shadow Over Villca'S, but you can play the other games in the classic Those Nights at Villca'S saga, as well as wait for Rehaunted. Dollar in her mind. Hey guys, check this out. Are you sure? Oh, I can't. Jesus Christ. I can't keep up. I can't. Oh, they're still going. I can't keep. Are you sure you won't lose your motivation again and try to cancel them for a second time? I mean, it gets repetitive and boring past a certain point in your life. You come up with something, work on it, and then 2 weeks later you don't want to do shit anymore and cancel it. It's a vicious cycle, Villca. Don't you think it's time for a new change of pace? If I were you, I'd straight up cancel everything, move on with my life, so I don't have to worry about little shits pressuring me over making my games. At best, they will find enjoyable for only a couple hours. There's more where that came from. The next one will be free too if you don't leave right now. Fine, okay, damn. As I was about to say, without any interruptions, thank you for getting this far here. Don't forget to check out my other games or keep up with my posts or what I'm doing. Until next time, I'll definitely have to check out Those Nights at Villca'S for sure. I mean, he's getting a, what was it, a remake? I think it's what, Rehaunted? I'll look into it, but I might just wait for that if anything. But there we go, we finally reached the end. We got everything custom night-wise done, 100%, there you go. So real quick, I guess we'll just go through the gallery here. Characters, we have Fantasy Villca, Fantasy Maiden, Fantasy Heartcat, Super Soul, Fantasy Fran, Meow Cream. So this is that's what Meow Cream was, okay. Fantasy Volti, Fantasy Maxi, Shadow Volti, Webon Night Guard. Oh no, Webon the Night Guard. Pretty much, you know, you just YouTube in our knights here. Bon Hobson, Dollar, Villy, and Silly, as well as Decomposed Villca and Voltium. Oh, is this what happened to us after the is this what happened to us after we tried fighting back? I think it is. And then Villca, and then Shad. The developer behind Shadow Knights, basically. And I think, oh, you can. Oh, I didn't realize there was actual like character bios. Hold on, now I feel like I went through all that. I didn't realize there was character bios here. Fantasy Villca, the main attraction of the restaurant. It doesn't get any clearer than that. He loves to play with the kids in hide and seek rounds from time to time. An amazing company to have by your side. This design has more resemblance to classic Villca than Those Nights at Villca'S Classic Edition. I thought this was like I think this was like a little icon here. Then you have Fantasy Maiden, the magician of the bunch. He loves to pull magic tricks on performance to amaze the children present, alongside his bunny buddy Vinny. Vinny is in Those Nights at Villca'S. Oh no. Vinny in Those Nights at Villca'S is actually a girl. Meanwhile, in this game, it's a boy. Fantasy Maiden, I guess it's Maiden C. It just didn't have it at the top right there. And Fabry both share a similar trait, pulling magic tricks mid-performance. Fantasy Heartcat and Love Muffin, the birthday organizing gal. Her love to bake is seen like no other. If you're wondering, no, the cupcake is not magically alive, it's robot pal for Heartcat. She likes to mess with the electricity. Love Muffin has no gender. Makes me feel like the whole Mangle situation again. Fantasy Soul, the superhero gal of the show. She uses roller skates to not fall in the ice floor of the restaurant. If someone's in danger, you can count on her, unless you're the night guard. Her old name used to be Super Soul. While I do think it's a cool model name, it was better for her to stay as a fantasy. The rat of the night. Fantasy Fran, the fancy one. Unlike his friends, he is the most educated when it comes to following the rules. Don't let him catch you break a rule. You don't want to know what happens next. He is the replacement for Fantasy J, a character planned for the game in early development who was scrapped later on. Then you have Malcream. He's not actually a robot or anything, but a hallucination caused by the low temperatures of the place. He's kind of funny and adorable. So that's what the phone guy was trying to like allude to, or Bond was trying to allude to when he said like ice cream animatronic. What are you talking about, right? They said that, and I thought it was referencing Heartcat, but no. So I guess we really were going crazy. He is called Meow Cream, but he doesn't meow at all. Pretty ironic, if you ask me. Then you have Fantasy Volty, the broken down robot that remains in the parts and service room. A vandal broke in the restaurant and severely damaged Volty, leaving him blind, without his right arm and part of his leg, leaving part of the endoskeleton exposed. Poor him. Both Fantasy Volty and Fantasy Piero share a similar trait, being blind and being guided by external sounds. Fantasy Maxie, the out-of-service gal. Like with Volty, the vandal damaged Maxie, leaving her without the left arm, part of her legs, and the right arm. One of the main reasons why this place needs a night guard. She likes to sleep. Don't wake her up, please. Doing so can get you Doing so can and will get you fired if you play Night 4. Shadow Volty, this unknown shadowy figure haunts the restaurant. It is known it has a severe hatred for the company and wants to take down everything with it. Or everything involved with it. Have you noticed how all the shadowy figures in any present fan game wants revenge on someone or something? Yeah, me too. I love shadowy figures. Pretty much. I mean, I don't think I've seen a single fan game where any sort of shadowy entity was even remotely positive. But, I mean, given that Shadow's darkness is meant to usually portray negative things, it's not too surprising. Then you have Toy Webon, the player. Toy is just a regular young adult who is running tight on money and found the opportunity to work in the place. But this job isn't anything seen in any fan game he played. Oh, so this is like really meta. He plays fan games and he is pretty much like the protagonist of one is like, oh, it's like the games I played. But, well, no, actually, it's not the games he played. Funny fact, he has a YouTube channel, by the way. Go check it out if you're curious about what he plays. Spoiler, it's about Five Nights at Sonic's, I'm guessing, most of the time. Then you have Bon Hobson, the greedy bastard of your boss. He basically stole Vix's company for the sake of money and fame with his 100% discount item, quote unquote. No wonder why Shadow Volty wants to take down his company and has a severe hatred for people like this. Funny fact, yes, he's another one of my OCs. If you think I can't find a way to sneak my OCs into Villca'S games, you'd be hella wrong. Then you have Dollar, gender, yes. About me, hello everyone. This is Dollar, oh god. I am Beta Villca if he was fucking awesome. I kind of look like Beta Villca, people tend to tell me that, but the truth is he copied me. I am the actual Beta Villca, you heard me? I am trans, by the way. Villy, my name is Villy. I like to play with guests and friends. People tend to tell me I got a long neck, but that doesn't affect me or anything. I like the way I am. He looks like Error Villca. Villca Baboso forever. And then Silly, my name is Silly. I am a hacker. Want to download those Nights at Villca'S for free? Hit me up. He is a parody of SVP for the game, which is kind of funny because that's not true. And then finally, wait, no, not finally. Then you have Decomposed Villca, the leader of the Decomposed. After 8 years of not being used and left to rot, Fantasy Villca now remains in the parts and service for parts of the... never mind. Oh, you see, this is kind of disappointing, but there won't be a sequel to A Shadow of Villca'S. The reasons were already explained in the cutscene. We just wanted to show what would have been a Fantasy Villca for a sequel. So this is basically like, what if there was a sequel, basically. And then Voltium. After being trapped inside Volty by Shadow Volty, Toy managed to live inside the robot while being powered by revenge towards Bon after he left him to rot. As I said, there won't be a sequel, just want to show Toy's fate, basically. However, if you plan on making an official sequel to the game, go for it, lads. And then Villca'Toons, the creator of the game alongside Chad, he drew the entire game and also made those Nights at Villca'S. He loves Sabdangas. Shaded Horizon, creator of the game alongside Villca, he also made Shadow Knights with his main inspiration for this game, and half of the reason why this game exists. Funny fact, do you know someone who happens to have too much free time and their brain runs 10 miles per hour? It's probably this guy. Hire him as a beta tester once and he becomes your lifelong buddy in the process. He writes these things. Alright, and then finally jump scares. What the hell was that? Just like he claps his hands together right in your face or something. This one's like, you know, regular jump scare, zooming into you. You get punched by Super Soul, Fantasy Fran, Meow Cream. So they actually have a natural jump scare. I assumed you were just going to freeze to death or something. Or think you froze to death since it's a hallucination. Then Fantasy Volty, we got that a few times. We got that plenty of times. We saw this plenty of times as well. Oh, and the cat doesn't have a jump scare because they pretty much just disable your cameras. As for behind the scenes, you have like the development of the main menu, the whole office layout, and like the different positionings, camera positionings, more of the UI elements for the cameras, custom night being pretty much developed, the extras that we're literally in right now, mechanics for each of the characters, and then discarded things that never made it to the game. Like, I think this maybe this is like one of the characters that got replaced by another current character. You have, I guess this was like a different, what's it called, a different map layout, or maybe later we have different cameras, different logo, different design for Villca'S, or like an unused image for him. This is definitely a different design for Volti, since they're not supposed to have eyes in general. Pose for Fran, the Shadow Villca, Shadow Volti, Fran again. And that pretty much covers everything in Gallery. Obviously, in terms of other games, you have Villca'S Bakery, Shadow Knights, which I've played, A Week with Javier, which I've also played. I have not played those nights at Piero's Diner, or Sheriff though. Or, well, Villca'S Bakery, which, you know, I kind of already mentioned. Alright, as for my thoughts on the game, from a gameplay standpoint, honestly, it got pretty intense for a while there as you go through. They have some pretty interesting mechanics, such as using the alarms to like drag characters certain areas. Like if you go through one by one, right, obviously you have a character like this, which reminds me a lot of Javier in A Week at Javier's, because A Week at Javier's has like fake clones that try to trick you, and this character is pretty much inspired with that mechanic, where you have to flash the right Villca basically. So seeing that inspiration is pretty nice. Then you have two characters, Super Soul and Maiden, who pretty much just visit your doors. Now what I do like that is kind of unique about this one is that with these characters, you don't just shut the door when they're nearby, you have to stun them first and then shut it. And part of that is important because the stun mechanic obviously has its cooldown, and you have to use the stun mechanic with 1, 2, 3 characters. So to some extent, right, you have to be careful about balancing it. In general, it doesn't go too crazy, they don't usually interfere too much, but you have to kind of like think about that a bit and make sure that whenever these two show up at the doors, you deal with them as soon as possible. Speaking of door characters, right, with Fran, they're pretty much the same. Only thing is you can't use a flashlight on them, but you can see their eyes in the doorway anyway, so it's kind of very, you know, similar. But if you're instinctually checking the doors, obviously that goes against you, so you kind of have to be a little bit on your guard with Fran. As for Hardcat, they're pretty much traveling around, right? They have to go to the generator room, you watch them, you use the alarm to scare them off, pretty standard. And then the Cupcake kind of has like a Balloon Boy mechanic where if you don't scare them off, they're gonna disable your flashlight for the rest of the run. Volti is quite a unique one because they kind of work similarly to Hardcat in essence, only instead of scaring them off, you're luring them with the alarm. And it has to be like, it's a very specific condition. Wherever they are, you have to attract them to the opposite side. So if they're at your left entrance, you have to attract them to the right side, and vice versa. It's not just about luring them in general, you have to actually pay attention to where they are. So that obviously encourages you to use the cameras a lot more, alongside Maxi. These two characters pretty much make you want to be on camera all the time. Or, well, as much as you can, just so you don't lose track of them, which was something that was very difficult for me to do in Custom Night. And then finally we have Shadow Volti, who obviously is different mechanically in Custom Night because not all of their mechanics are present. When you look at their, you know, own special night, they had like so many mechanics to take care of. You know, closing your eyes, flashing them in the doorways, not flashing them, looking for them on cameras. There was a lot going on, and overall made for a stressful night. And it is cool that they actually managed to still kind of incorporate him into Custom Night, just with a few mechanics, and he ended up not being too much of a hassle since he isn't as active as he was in his own night, but you still have to be careful with him reaction time wise. All in all, it made for a pretty tough experience in Custom Night, and throughout the main nights as well if you're not careful. Obviously, the only other mechanic we didn't mention is Meow Cream with the cold temperature in the office and just drinking coffee, but that's kind of like a passive thing, so you don't really worry about that too much. Besides that, the inspirations from how the characters are designed and in general the aesthetic of the game clearly inspired from Shadow Knights, which I like. You know, it's cool always seeing these 2D like drawn characters and environments. They're always cool to see because they tend to be very creative and very wacky from my experience, which is always fun to see. And even then, they find a way to have like some like creepy aesthetics to everything. Mainly the death screen, I would say, and of course Shadow of Ulti. Also, the max mode music's pretty nice. I mean, I couldn't beat the night with it, but it's pretty nice. But, of course, with all that said, I hope you did enjoy. If you did, leave a like, comment, let me know what you enjoyed from the video, and what you want to see from me. The game will be in the description below, as always, and with that said, I'll see you in another video. Great job to everyone that was a part of the game here, and take care.